Welcome to these math videos. My name is Julie Roy and I'm a math teacher for grade 5. I teach immersion. Today the video will be, we're going to continue with our addition strategies, but now we're going to look at how to integrate place value within your teaching of addition. Place value within itself is not an easy concept for children. They sometimes struggle understanding where numbers are and what their meaning is depending on where they're placed. So to kind of counteract that, a good exercise is to now mix numbers. We looked at how to add two-digit numbers with two-digit numbers. Now we're going to look at how to add two-digit numbers with three-digit numbers and how to sort of progress that in a way that makes it easy for students. So the first step you would probably want to use is a nice big three-digit number and a simple two-digit number. Now what you want to do is not trick students, but to really see if they understand what the first number in each of these numbers mean. So what you want to see is that they know that this is 700, and there are no hundreds here. So 700 will stay by itself as 700. Then when they add the tens, here there's no tens, and here there's 6 tens. So the final answer will be 760. Now, if your child or your student does not get 760, but rather gets something like 1300 or 130, what they're doing is they're looking at the 6 and the 7s as just numbers. So 6 plus 7 is 13. I must add those things together. And I'm either going to put 1 0 or 2 0, or sometimes I even put 3 zeros because there are 3 zeros in the question. That's a very good sign that these students do not understand place value, do not understand the importance of where the numbers, the digits are placed in the number and determining their values. If students write these false answers, well, you need to do some more work with this type of question before moving on to more difficult concepts. When students get that 700 plus 60 makes 760, now you can move on to a tiny bit more complex question where there are more digits in your question and less zeros. A good problem that follows that would be something like 760 plus 60. So again, here you want students to look at the hundreds. So think, how many hundreds do you see? And you want to get them to think about that number and hold it in one hand so they can do this problem mentally at some point. So what you'd want is 700, and then look at your tens. How many tens are you adding together? We have 6 tens and 6 other tens. Well, 6 and 6 is 12, so that must mean 12 tens. And when you add these things together, what you have is 700 plus 100, that's 800, and there's 20 left. So the answer would be 820. Again, this intermediate step may be necessary when you start working with these numbers, but eventually you would like students to be able to think 700, 120, 820. That's the goal for every student, even if they are struggling. A lot of practice with this will help them do this mentally. And again, sometimes you will just get them to write the first number, 700, and hold on the 120 in their heads. So they can go 700 plus 120, well, that's 820. Okay, 820. So very important to sort of scaffold this understanding. So if they can't do it at first, just then let them hide one or hide the first one or the second one, and then so they don't need to have any one of them, and they can just look at 760 plus 60 and get 820 right away mentally. That's the ultimate goal. So once they're comfortable with this type of problem, you can move to a tiny bit more complex problems where you add 3-digit but at different places, right? So you can have 760 plus 83. So see, now we have less non-zero digit. That complicates the problem a little bit, but it kind of still stays a mental math problem because there's not a true 3-step process, right? When you look at 700, again, there's no other hundreds here, so you can have 700. The 60 and the 80 makes 140 or 14 tens, so 140, and you have your 3 that's left. The 3 that's left, you should really just be able to look at the number and remember that it's there. So when you have 700 plus 140, you get 840 and 3 that you left at the end, so 843. So that's how I would progress these problems. You can even trick students by moving the first number, the larger number, a little bit around. So you could also have problems like 706 plus 63. Okay? Now what you've done here is you've changed the order around. So students who behave like monkeys and just keep repeating the same strategy without really thinking, this will help them think again, as this is a new problem again. So again, 700, no 100, you still have your 700. Your 60 is by itself now, and it has no other 10, so it's 60, and your 6 plus your 3 makes your 9. So you have 769. Okay? And here I didn't use a number that made a sum greater than 10, but you could easily use a number that has a sum greater than 10 and see how that works out, just like the following example. If I have 706 plus 78, I have my 700, no other hundreds, 700. I have my 70, no other 10s, and my 6 and my 8 for my 14. So 700. The 70 and the 10 will make 80, so 784. And again here, this is a more complex problem because it's almost like a true three-step problem. And three-step problems are much harder to do mentally. So here it could allow students to write at least one part to help them hold the information in their heads. So that now concludes how we would do addition of 3-digit numbers with 2-digit numbers. Thank you. Have a great day.